Good morning, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this planet. Once again, we welcome you to our live presentation. This is our question and answer session that comes to you intermittently every Friday morning, evening, noon, or afternoon, depending on where you are around the world. I know that for those of you who are in California, in the United States of America, it is not yet your Friday. I believe you're still on Thursday night. We welcome you. Today's date is the 19th day of March in the year of Most High Elohim 2021. The time now is 6 minutes past 7 p.m. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. And by the same number of minutes, 6 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are around the world, we welcome you. It's a live presentation, please. Live presentation. The time is 6 minutes past 7 a.m. in the land of Biafra. That's how you know we are live. Because if you check your timepiece right now, the time will be 6 minutes past the top of the hour. I welcome each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. We are being listened to right across the world. A lot of you have joined us via IPOB Community Radio app. Of course, some are listening via Radio Biafra app. Some of you are also listening via FM in the land of Biafra, some parts of Lagos, in Abuja as well. I don't know if Kanu is amongst you. Those of you who are listening via FM, we are also on satellite. Some are listening also via Radio Biafra website at radiobiafra.co. And I do know that a few people, I think what I can say is 228 are listening via my Instagram page, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu _official. Some of you are with me on Instagram. Some of you are also listening via Twitter. You should listen via Twitter and Instagram as much as possible. I do not think we are able to stream on Facebook today. They don't want me to broadcast on their platform. They have taken money from the zoo. They're trying to cut out our voice because our women were raped, and they do not want the world to know about it. That is what Facebook is hiding, but they cannot stop us because we are unstoppable. And as we have been announcing for the past few days and weeks, very, very imminently, our own app will be launched. Something similar or better than Facebook will be launched. I know that Simon Ekpa has been doing a lot of work in terms of announcing it, but I will myself announce it officially when we are ready to go. But for now, we welcome each and every one of you, regardless of where you are. Bring your pen and paper ready. And of course, I am going to give out the telephone number with which you can contact us this morning. It is a question and answer session. Please, I will urge and pray that some of you refrain from unnecessary, should I say, commendation and pleasantries. I want you to go straight into your questions. The harder the questions, the more better for us. So we can educate, we can enlighten, we can make the world aware or bring to their attention the work that we are doing diligently and resolutely to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the face of the earth. Our work, our mission is a very simple one: to restore Biafra, or we all die in the process, because there is no other alternative. It is a good thing now that the Janjaweed are on the run. It's a good thing also that our people in the West, our Yoruba brethren, have woken up. We are waiting for middle belts to rise up as well, so that we can dismember and bring the damnable zoological republic to an end, to end the misery that it has continued to heap on the lives of those who are unfortunate to be born into that contraption. Once again, we are going to pray as it is usual and customary here with us. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of IPOB all over the world, Indigenous People of Biafra, the largest mass movement on the face of this planet Earth. I am the director of radio, Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. As I have welcomed you, please endeavor to welcome other people, endeavor to share your link as far and as wide as possible, that others may also participate this very morning. I am not sure that the advertisement for this program went out far and wide, but we are here all the same. And I'm sure by the time we get to the 30th minute of this program this very morning, afternoon, and depending on where you are, a lot of you will be able to join us, because I know that some people are still sleeping, especially those in the time zone adjoining that upon which Biafra sits, which is 1 hour before Greenwich Mean Time. We must pray. And of course, in the language of heaven. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna dị ngọzi ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya ka ike niile nọ n'ọbọdịrị aka ya. Onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto wee na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile. Chineke nna nke usu niile nke ndị agha. Onye pụrụ anyị n'ihu ma pụrụ anyị n'azụ. Onye na-echebe ndị ya agbanyeghị ihe niile nke anyị onwe anyị na-agabiga n'ihi na anyị bụ anụkpa ahụ. Arịrịọ ka anyị na-arịọ, otuto ka anyị na-eto gị, nsọpụrụ ka anyị na-asọpụrụ gị, ịja mma ka anyị na-aja aha nsọ gị n'isi ụtụtụ ehihie ma ọ bụ abalị, ebe niile ụmụ gị gbasara ka ụkpaka n'ụwa niile, n'ihi na ị kwere anyị na nkwa n'oge ahụ wee ruo mgbe ọbụla anyị kpọkwuru aha nsọ gị n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu, na ị ga-akpọkọtakwa anyị ọnụ ọzọ, na anyị ga-efekwa gị n'ụzọ ziri ezi, na gị onwe gị ga-abụ nna wee nye anyị, anyị onwe gị ga-abụ ụmụ wee nye gị nna nke igwe. N'oge ahụ eruo ka i wee nye anyị Biafra ọsọ 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 ọsọ, atụfughị mgbe, n'ihi na ndị iro abatawo ala nsọ gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Atụmatụ ọjọọ ha niile n'isi ụmụ gị nna nke ebere bụ nke ga-abụ ihe efu, ka ha rabụ ndị kuniri wee na-agbara ndị Janjaweed odibo n'ime anyị nna nke igwe, na ị ga-ekpochapụ ndị dị etu a n'aka nsị agapụkwa ha ọnụ nna nke ebere. Anyị wee na-arịọ eze ebube dị ngọzi, lekwa ezinụlọ gị bụ IPOB n'ụwa niile, ka i wee bụrụ ndị gọziri ha agọzi nna nke igwe, na ndị dị etu a bụ ndị eturu ugo n'ihe ọbụla, ọkụ aka ọbụla nke ha na-aga, echiche ọbụla ga-ebutere ha nsọ ụtụtụ na nsọpụrụ na eji ama nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, na ị ga-agọzi nke dị etu a. Anyị wee na-arịọ ike igwe lekọta ezinụlọ gị, tụmadụ ụmụ gị bụ ndị nọ na Eastern Security Network, bụ otu nche nke gị onwe gị họpụtara, wee gọzie ka i wee leta ha n'ụzọ pụrụ iche, ka ha wee mụrụ anya mgbe niile eze ebere ngọzi, n'ihi na ewezụgaghị nna nke ebere, ndị nche ka ha rabụ ndị na-echebe obodo ọkwa n'efu ka ha na-amụ anya. Onye nwe m dị ngọzi, Chineke nna eze ebube, Chineke nna nke ụmụ Biafra, Chineke nna nke ndị IPOB, anyị wee na-akpọkwa aha nsọ gị, wee na-arịọ gị, wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. He said, our lines are going to open this morning, and I will take your questions. And as always and ever, please, when somebody is speaking on the line, endeavor, because we're only going to use one line today, and that is Signal, of course, because we are encouraging everybody to move away from WhatsApp into Signal, and very soon, of course, into the new device, the new social media platform that we are going to launch. Very, very important, please, that you pay attention to every announcement concerning that very imminent app launch that we intend to do in no distant time. The number to call this morning on Signal, please, Signal, is +44 7761 825 346. I repeat, +44 7761 82 5346. I do know that a lot of people are still sleeping, but we are here now. And once you try to contact us, I will accept your number, and then you will be able to speak to us. We are live and we are direct. And of course, the whole world is bearing us witness. Our lines are now open. And if you wish to participate or call us, you are more than welcome to do so. Once again, this is a live presentation, please. And we are only using one line to broadcast this very day, and that is Signal. And that is Signal. And might I also remind each and every one of you, if you have not prayed for IPOB, if you have not prayed for this very noble family, of course, those that are guiding us, ESN, if you have not prayed for Eastern Security Network and for the coming of Biafra, I do suggest that you do so immediately. Let us go and take this call. Our very first caller this very morning, afternoon or night, depending on where you are. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Please, your name and where you're calling us from, and then your question, please, if you may.
Morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
My name is Chinedu Nwosu.
Chinedu Nwosu.
From Hungary.
From Hungary? You're calling from Hungary?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead. We are listening.
Mazi, please, I want to ask something. All these Efulefu, because all these Efulefu and their children with their entire family, what is going to be a situation when we stop Biafra? Are they going to be in Biafra land with us? Because if they continue to be in Biafra land with us, the same thing will be applicable. The same thing their father did is what they're going to do, just like Nnamdi. What is going to be their condition in Biafra land? That's what I want to know.
Their condition will be what it has always been and what we said is going to be. Those who are complicit in the murder of our people, those that worked with Janjaweed to try to enslave us, they will, of course, be tried and hanged in public. Those of them that have risen up against us will be tried and hanged in public without any apologies. We have said that before, we're saying it again, because we understand the damage or the extent of the damage that they have done or inflicted upon our people. We know that they are responsible for the delay in setting us free for Biafra to come. We know the work that they have been doing, and we are not going to spare them. They will be tried because Biafra land will be a land of law and order. We are going to obey the law. The law will say that they need to be tried. We are going to try them with, of course, based on evidence before any court of competent jurisdiction. Once we do that, or we determine their guilt or innocence, then they'll be dealt with accordingly. If they're guilty, they'll be hanged. If they are innocent, they'll be set free. It's as simple as that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for that very interesting question this morning. Anybody, if you're involved in the sabotage of this very great effort to restore Biafra, if you are part and parcel of those who are conniving and conspiring to make life difficult for Biafrans, believe you me, that you will be tried for it. If you try to send us a message, it will come to, if you try to call for the very first time, it will come as a message. I will accept, and then you try and call back. That is the way it works. You will then try and call back. I know that it's a very complex system with signal, but that is the way it works. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling us from, if you may.
Good morning, my leader.
Good morning to you.
My name is Onyedikachi. I am calling you from Neu, Germany. My leader, I greet you for all the things you've been doing for Biafrans.
Thank you very much. It seems where you are is very cold, is it? Where you are, is it very cold?
Yes, it's very, very cold, sir. Yeah.
I can imagine. I can hear it from your voice.
I was the one who asked you a question when you came 2019. Yes, in Munich.
Okay, so, when I was in Munich. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. So my question is please, it's just like a suggestion. Well, I'm asking, please, if you can ask, put it to unknown government to go after all these our saboteurs we have in Biafra land, because if we don't, that is the first thing we need to do. Please, it's getting on me here that I'm not there and I'm not useful, to this kind of situation going on, because I love to do something. Because here we are, they are chasing us around everywhere in the world. We are not safe. Okay, we are not safe. All right. Thank you very much, my leader. That is just what I want to add up to. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. We don't know who they are. Those saints, those avengers of the blood of the innocent. We don't know who they are. Some of you call them unknown gunmen. I have joined you in calling them unknown gunmen. They are, to some people, saints, sent by heaven to avenge the death of the innocent at the hands of the zoo security agencies. And from what we have seen that they have been doing so far, some of you have been hailing them. As for me, anybody who is involved in the death of the innocent do not deserve any mercy. So I am asking everybody who works for the police, for the army, make sure you are not on checkpoints in Biafra land. Make sure you are not involved in the killing and molestation of the innocent. Make sure that your hand is not soiled, because if you do, all these saints will be able to locate you. That's what we are saying. And in time to come, of course, we don't know who they are, but as time goes on, they will be able to answer every prayer that all of you have been making, every legitimate prayer regarding those who have been who have presented themselves as stumbling block towards our emancipation. I have a caller again on the line. This caller, can you hear me? And thanks for your patience. Your name and where you are, please.
My name is Chimdike Obonaya.
Chimdike Obonaya, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Conroe, Texas, very close to Houston, Texas. I was the last caller the first time during the weather incident in Houston when you were in Houston.
Oh, okay.
And I was the last caller on that day. We got disconnected. I tried multiple times, and thank God I'm able to get to you today. Thank you so much. I'm an Omahian as well, Mazi.
You are an Omahian.
Glad.
You are blessed.
Yes, in the name of Mazi. Thank you.
Which house were you in?
Mazi.
Which house were you in?
I was in Niger House.
Niger House. Okay. Thank you. Please go ahead. Yes.
Thank you. While you were announcing things that are points that my IPOB members and everybody Biafra needed to pray about, and I was hoping that you would talk about unknown gunmen. We are seriously praying. I don't personally see them as unknown gunmen. I see them as saints, as you see them as well. Thank you so much, Mazi, for all that. Please, Mazi, I have a few questions. You see, I have friends in Imo State who keep telling me about incidents going on, even from the SARS operatives and all these people, and still being supported and fully backed by the Fulani appointed Supreme Court. I will call him the Sarakin Fulani of Imo State.
I love that name, the Sarakin Fulani of Imo State. I love the name. The Sarakin, he is not even an administrator, because he is working for Fulani Janjaweed. He is the Sarakin Fulani. I will do a special program on that idiot. I am going to expose him beyond the understanding of most people. Believe you me, that man is a demon. Hope Uzodema is a demon. And he has been moving and transporting our people to Abuja and all over the north. The same thing that Wike did. He thought that Wike did it and got away with it, but they do not know that the rain is going to fall and fall heavily upon Wike. I'm making it abundantly clear. The rain will fall, not even rain. Hell, fire and brimstone will fall on Wike very, very soon. I assure him of that. For all the evil and atrocities that he has committed against our people, Hope Uzodinma is doing the same thing, moving and rendering our people to the north to be raped. One of the girls that was raped, airlifted from, what should I say, abducted from Obi and raped, she underwent surgery and her womb was removed. I have the pictures. Only a few days ago in Lagos, her womb was removed. I have the pictures. It is horrific. It is horrible. She was the one subjected to multiple rape. A very young girl raped as a result of what Wike did. And that is exactly what Hope Uzodinma is doing right now in Imo State. That man is beyond evil. He is the Serikin Fulani of Imo State. As you have quite rightly tagged him. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mazi. So that was actually one of the things I was going to say, because my friends tell me that the incident abductions, it's even increasing. And you see someone today and they go out and you don't see them anymore and nobody can trace their whereabouts. So Mazi, if and I even saw about the incident today, yesterday in Anambra. If there is a way we can get across to our people over there in the ESN to if we can, I'm supporting more and I'm calling for more support to get our people in ESN to go over there and be on the watch, because people are missing every day, Mazi. It is that bad. And on the other question, I saw a lot of people saw broadcasts, and I'm trying to say if it's possible for you to address people that might be not so okay with broadcasts that we saw from the man in the creek that just starts his own government and wants to make people to follow him, which is not going to happen, so that people will be rest assured that everything is under control, under one command, as it has always been. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much, and very, very incisive questions you presented this very morning. Let me make it very clear, abundantly clear. Let me start from the last. That we are not under any government. This is, I think, about the 6th time they have tried to launch a government. I saw the very mischievous headline from Nation newspaper yesterday, alluding to the fact that I had given my support to the idiotic and ridiculous formation of any government. The only reason why I have not come out to totally condemn it was because they said it is a customary government. It is not the government of Biafra. It's just like the way you have the 12 Sharia states in the north. They operate a customary Sharia system that suits people of the Janjaweed, leaning, those who are being controlled by the Fulani Caliphate. They have the Sharia in the north. Does it affect you where you are? Does it affect us in the south? The answer is no. So you can form any government you like. It can maybe you and your friends can get together and form a government. Nobody's stopping you. It is called a customary government. Some idiots tried to form the same rubbish many, many years ago. Some of them tried to pressure me into forming a government. And I said to them, no, that before you form, our people are Republicans, they are Democrats by nature. Before you form any government, you need to get their permission. They need to mandate you to do it. You just can't wake up in the morning and insultingly say that I'm forming a government for Biafra. Somebody who is a Janjaweed, somebody whose allegiance is to Saudi Arabia, somebody that despises Israel, somebody who is a nobody, has no following. Even the wife doesn't follow him. You want to, anybody can, in the zoo, you can announce anything, and if you give them money, they will carry it. We know the work that DSS is doing. They even went as far as issuing an op-ed. Somebody wrote an article trying to extol the virtues, trying to insinuate that somehow this wonderful, noble, unbreakable family has been divided. And I said to the person that you are insane. Once you leave IPOB, you are on your own. You cannot take anybody with you. It is impossible, because we are one family. That is who we are. One name under one command. Not 2, not 3, not 4. People may try to seek relevance. It is in their nature. When you run out of, if you're Let me give you a very simple example, my dear brother. Anytime you see a harlot, anytime you see a prostitute, anytime she runs out of money, she will put on a very small skirt and high heels and handbag with lipstick and wig, and she will go and stand on the street corner. If she doesn't have bread, because that is what she is used to. Anytime you have these hungry people run out of money, they try to make so much noise to attract the attention of the zoo government so that their money can start flowing again. But I think the zoo have now sourced them out, that they are nobody, that they are insignificant. Coming to the abductions that you talked about, we know what is happening. And that is why I don't know who the unknown gunmen are, but I'm praying for them. All those people, I am praying to God to please put it in the minds of the unknown gunmen to go and find those who are kidnapping our people and deliver judgment to them. No, they will not deliver. They will send them to Chikokikabiama to judge them. That's what we are praying for. But if you think that they're going to go scot-free, then whoever thinks along that line is very much mistaken. They are all going to pay very, very dearly for it. If you look at how the zoo is now progressing towards disintegration, what we have been praying for and working for very many years has now caught on in Yoruba land. I know that now that Baya Debanjo is the new Afenifere chairman, or should I say the president of Afenifere. A very wonderful, wonderful development, because he is a man of his words. And the likes of Ibagani Adams are now saying the right things they ought to have said many, many years ago. And the very young man is doing very well, saying what they should have said many, many years ago. And you can see how things are progressing. We are only waiting for the middle belts to rise up as well. And the zoo is history. Forget all the nonsensical garbage about constitutional force. You do constitutional force majeure with people who are reasonable, people who are sensible, people who are amenable to reason, not Fulani Janjaweed. They don't understand it. What they need is war and chaos, and that is what they're going to get. Look at, do you know that they no longer go to school in the north? The zoo is almost gone. And as I said, if you have not gotten your Somali visa yet, please try and do so, because the zoo is imploding and imploding very, very fast. All those involved in the abduction of our people, very soon they will receive their own judgment. That I can assure you categorically. And thank you very, very much for calling. And wherever you are, as you pray for ESN, pray for IPOB, also pray for those saints. They are saints, sent from heaven. They are called unknown gunmen. But to me, they are saints. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Our lines are open. You can call us a very brilliant, a very wonderful call. Wherever you are, please, we welcome you. This is Radio Biafra live question and answer session. We used to do this every Friday until some things caught up with us, but we are here back once again answering very difficult questions. No matter how difficult those questions are, we shall answer them. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning.
My name is Kenneth Nnachuku, calling from Germany, from Bremen, Germany.
Your name is Kenneth. I want to know your proper name. That one you're answering is a Danish name. It came from Denmark. What is your proper name?
Oh, my name is Omonna Nnachuku.
Very good. Omonna Nnachuku. Thank you very much. Named after heaven itself. From where?
Thank you, Mazi. I'm calling from Bremen, Germany.
From Bremen in Germany. It seems only Germans are awake this morning, and those from Texas as well. Please go ahead. You're listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mazi, I just came back from work this morning, so I have to wait for your question and answer. So, Mazi, I just have two articles for you this morning, and I hope it will not be so difficult to explain them to me. One important thing I want to say is, I want to ask first is, we are having a very big problem here. And the problem we are having is, a lot of us, we don't have a passport anymore. They are expired. And when we try to apply for our passport in the embassy, most of us that are in Facebook, that are really posting a lot of things about the disintegration of Nigeria, they are refusing us passport in one way or the other, by not even giving us an appointment to get our passport. So, and we don't actually know what to do. Some people are running from Germany to Holland to go get their passport and just stuff like that. So, but now most of us don't know on how we go about this thing. So it is a problem. So I don't know how you can clarify these things for us, how we go about it. But a suggestion for it, how I thought, is like in Germany here, officially in Germany here, we are like not registered officially in Germany here, because like the IPOB Bremen where I belong to, we are registered, and in Europe they have a way their law works. It's like every state have their own law. So as we are registered in Bremen, it's like we are registered under the law of Bremen. The people in Hamburg, who if they are registered in Hamburg, they are registered under the law of Hamburg, the state.
Yes.
And in Cologne, it's just like
it's a proper federal system, as you have in the USA, a proper federal system. Every state in Germany has their own laws, and they implement it, they enact their own laws, and they implement it accordingly. It's a proper federal system. I have a very simple answer to your question. There is something called stateless statehood, which means you now have to, what we need to do is to perhaps instruct our lawyers. Nzurumike is there. Who is our deputy head of the Directorate of State. We can get him to explore the possibility of trying to get the UN involved. And the UN, in this instance, they have no choice. Once you have been denied a renewal of your passport, you go to the nearest UN office or get your lawyer to inquire for you about applying for the status of statelessness, which means somebody without a state until Biafra is recognized. And they are bound by conventions and treaties to make sure that they issue with a travel document. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because some of us started this very thing already. Like for me, I went already to the local foreign office where we renew our visa.
Yes.
Let me say where we renew our stay, like those of us who don't have the German passport or something like that. So, and they gave me, because my passport expired already last month, and they gave me something they call in Germany Fiktionsbescheinigung. So this paper I can be using to run around in Germany to work, but I can't use this very paper to leave Germany.
That's what I'm explaining to you. The only document you can use to leave Germany is one issued by the United Nations, because currently we are all stateless. Once the zoo refuses to renew your passport, you become stateless. And with that, it is enough compelling evidence to get the UN to issue you with a travel document, because you are a stateless person. Stateless. That's what it means. And now with it, you can also approach the authorities of where you're in and get them to try to, of course, fix whatever endorsement or should I say, whatever identity or valid document or stay in that very area that you may have to need on your travel document. So the next port of call is the UN, to make them aware that we are stateless, not by choice, but by virtue of the behavior of the Zoological Republic. That's what we're going to do. And I will get Nzulumike to look into it and see how that applies in the case of Germany. That is something that people do not understand. There is something called persons who are stateless, which means you have no country of your own. In our case, we are waiting for Biafra to come. Where you have been denied access to proper documentation, as the zoo is now doing, then we go to the UN and we apply for this very status. As simple as that. And that's what we're going to do. So I will get Nzulumike to investigate it and then come back to us. Because what we have right now, especially in Germany, is not acceptable, and we're not going to accept it. Thank you very much for your call. Is that all you have to say?
Okay, Mazi.
Thank you. Thank you. And remain blessed. Thank you very, very much. Our lines are open. Our lines are open. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct. Your name and where you are, please. Sorry, I can't hear you. The caller on the line, I cannot hear you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Please, your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, good morning, my leader. My name is John China Sokuchima, a regular caller calling from Abba.
From Abba, please go ahead.
Yes, my leader. May Chukwu bless you and keep you more stronger as you are pushing us to this our glorious land. My question for you this morning is I really wanted to know, because in our meeting last Saturday we deliberated it. We have some of our new members that are coming. I want you to clear air, because some people say that you say that we don't want to, we should close our books, we should not welcome new members again, no monthly dues. But some people are coming because of the way they see IPOB moving and the way we are on truth, and the whole thing they are doing is coming up. They wanted to join us. What do you do to them? I want you to clear, because they say that you say we should not welcome new members again.
No. I think, sorry, let me cut you short there. No, they misunderstood what I said. I said in ESN, we no longer welcome new recruits into ESN. But as for ordinary family meeting, people can come in. But let me tell you the fear that we have. There are a lot of people who have been recruited by the zoo to identify our people for abduction. So where you have a temporary moratorium in place where people are not being accepted, or should I say new members are not being accepted, it is for a very simple reason that we need to keep those who are there before secure and safe. And coming to the issue of contribution, yes, allow me to repeat. I do not want, there are no more monthly dues for the time being until I lift it. No more monthly dues in Biafra land alone. Outside Biafra land in the diaspora, people are allowed to continue to contribute. But in Biafra land, no more monthly dues in Biafra land. And I would leave it to the coordinators on the ground to determine those of them who should be admitted into our meetings. But for ESN, the door is shut, it is closed. No more. We have enough people and they're doing wonderfully well. And we need to make sure that anybody coming in is sensible enough, is understanding enough to appreciate the level of discipline required for you to serve in ESN. ESN is more disciplined than any army in Africa at the moment. And we don't want people to come in there to contaminate it. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you very, very much for your call. And I welcome it this very morning. Our line, once again, and please let me remind you how it works. You will call and we will take your, once I accept you, then you can then call back. Because if you call initially as a first-time caller, you may not be able to be accepted. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Do we have a caller on the line? We have a caller on the line. If you will bear with me, please. Too many calls are coming in. If you will please bear with me, let me put you on speaker. You are now live to the whole world. Yes, your name and where you are.
Good morning, Mazi. My name is Mazi Okebaramchedo. They're calling you from India. Okay?
From India. Yes, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes, Mazi, I want to ask a question. Yesterday, we saw what happened in Yoruba land. I believe that they are stepping up and they are becoming more serious about Yoruba agitation. So what I want to ask is, for now, I understand that steps has been made to reach to them because we understand that we need alliance, we need friends to shoot together and how to confront our enemy and champion our cause. So what I want to ask is, what are we making to unite with our Yoruba brothers? Because I understand that in the future, if we want to overturn how things are going in Africa and in West Africa, we need a union. A union of a such union that Great Britain operated. We need the Yorubas, we need the Middle Belt, and even extending to our brothers on the Amazonia. So what kind of system do we think is viable for us to be able to change how things are going in West Africa today? And do we think this is the time, as we are fighting together, do we think this is the time to start championing for that tomorrow that we might need to change things in Africa? And on that basis, I want you to as well assure our people that have whatever in Yoruba, in the Middle Belt, and wherever they might have what they call their properties, that this union as well is going to protect their interests. And they should not be afraid of anything and come back home or join this cause on whatever accord they can be able to join. Because till today, our people are still saying all sorts of things, that they are not being protected and what is going to become of whatever they have in the what they call a foreign land after Biafra comes. So I want you to, on this basis, assure them again that things will be, their properties and everything they have got there is protected. This is my question this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will answer your question. I will answer your question. And you should continue to listen very, very carefully. We are working very, very closely with our Yoruba brethren. Working very, very closely with them. You must understand this very carefully. We have held series of meetings and continue to hold series of meetings. It's not hidden. I'm not hiding it. That is the reason why we can do what we have been doing, what we've been doing. And that is the reason why our Yoruba brethren have now risen up, because they know that we cannot go behind their back to go and cut a deal with the Fulani to allow a Fulani invasion of Yoruba land. As a revenge of what happened during the war, they know that is not going to happen. We have a very clear understanding. We know that our future and our fates are intertwined. We know the game that the Fulani Janja would have been playing for years, playing us against each other, whilst they remain at the helm, impoverishing everybody. That era has come and gone. We are one with the Yoruba people right now. And let me repeat, you talked about development across that very sub-region, all the way from Ambazonia to the Middle Belt to Yoruba land, all the way along the coastal lines of West Africa. We are going to give them free oil and free gas. Very, very important, starting from Yoruba land. Rather than having Dangote refinery, what we are going to do, we'll use that same pipe laid by Dangote from Bayelsa all the way to Lagos, where he's doing his refinery. The Yorubas will own it, and we'll give them oil and gas for free in perpetuity. The same thing we shall extend to Benin Republic. The same thing to Togo. The same thing to every, I think Ghana now, they have their own oil. Anybody who do not have oil and gas, we are going to extend it to them. Our mission is to develop everybody and to free everybody, not just Biafra. Everybody has to be free, because it's called economies of scale. If they are doing well, you are also doing well. If they are poor, you are also poor. Go and ask Germany how much they spend trying to get every component part of the EU to be as developed as Germany is. Anybody should ask, those of them that called us this morning from Germany, go and ask Angela Merkel, how much are you, why is it that Germany is bringing us so much money to be propping up the EU? Because they want everybody to be developed. Once people are developed, they can buy your goods and services. Poor people cannot buy power bikes. Poor people cannot buy, let's say, drones. Poor people cannot buy flat screen TV, the smart TV. No, they need to be rich. And now, if you have a company, let's say in Biafra land, manufacturing all these things, and there's nobody to buy it, what are you going to do? These are the things that we need to understand, that the well-being of your next door neighbor is also to your advantage. We want to eradicate that mindset in a black person, that you should be the only rich man, the only cock growing in your village. No, it is not a good thing for you, because your lives will not be safe. Look at the Fulani Janjaweed, for example. Let me use the Fulani Caliphate, for example, the impoverished northern part of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Look at them today. The reason why banditry cannot stop is because over the years they failed to invest in education. The reason why they are not amenable to reason was over the years they shunned education. They wanted to impoverish everybody. They thought that by making all the Almajiris very poor, somehow them and their children will continue to enjoy and to control them. Today they are in possession of AK-47, and things have changed. And now in most schools in Zamfara, in most schools in Yobe, in most schools in Adamawa, they are no longer open. Children no longer go to school. It is as a direct consequence of unemployment, as a direct consequence of years and years of implementation of rules, regulation, and laws that are anti-people. In Biafra land, we are going to be different. Britain fought against Biafra, not Nigeria, because Britain thought that we don't have the spirit to share, that Biafrans cannot share because of what Ojukwu told Shell and BP. But they are wrong. They are very much mistaken. What our eternal leader said was that you don't come to blackmail me with something that God gave to me. If you want oil, we can give it to you, but you have to pay at the rate at which every other country is paying around the world. That was when Harold Wilson, the Labour Prime Minister of Britain, said that Biafrans are going to die, that he doesn't really care. He was a shareholder in BP. Then he said he doesn't care how many Biafrans will die, as long as they continue to get their oil and gas for free. That was why they supported the Fulani Janjaweed. And these are the things, the mistakes we have learned from. You mentioned people and their properties in the north. They keep saying this thing all the time. I have a two-bedroom hotel in Jalingo. What is going to happen to it? And I say to them that you are very much mistaken. Your property is more secure if there is a Biafra than when you are in Nigeria. Let me repeat. Your properties in the north is more secure if you have a Biafran independent nation than if you remain in the zoo called Nigeria. Because Today, most people own properties abroad. For instance, I have a property in England. When Biafra comes, am I going to lose it? The answer is no. You know, the Janjaweed who are not educated keep saying, okay, Biafrans should leave. Once you leave, we take over your property. That is rubbish. That is rubbish, because let me tell you what is going to happen. It's very simple. Some of you talk about ICC all the time, International Criminal Court, where violators of human rights are being taken to for trial. There is another court called the International Court of Justice, ICJ, where states can take states to court. If they touch any of your properties in the north, all Biafra will need to do is to petition ICJ, and ICJ will award compensation for those properties they have destroyed or seized from you. Once that is done, then the Janjaweed government will be forced to pay. If they don't have the money to pay, any grants that any country is giving to them will be seized and used to compensate people that lost their properties. That is something that people do not know. The reason why all the properties we lost during the war was not returned and no compensation paid was because there was no Biafra to take the Nigerian government to International Court of Justice, the ICJ. Also sitting in The Hague. Also in The Hague. That is something that people do not understand. Also sitting in The Hague. If a country takes Nigeria to court for violating international laws, then they are bound to pay. So you are far more safer having a Biafra with your property outside Biafra land than in Nigeria. I hope that is very clear. I have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Good morning, my great leader.
Good morning to you. Please give us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Mwabe Okechukwu. I'm calling for United Arab Emirates, Dubai.
From Dubai, a very beautiful and wonderful place. One of those who operate a truly federal system, because Abu Dhabi is free, Dubai is free, Qatar is free, and one other one as well. I've forgotten the name. There's a few of them. They operate a proper federal structure. And that is why everybody's running to Dubai. Everybody wants to go to Dubai. Nobody wants to make their land to be like Dubai. Everybody wants to run to Dubai. Very, very sad indeed. And those ruling Dubai, they have houses in America. They have houses in the UK. But that did not stop them from also developing their own land. That is how sensible people think and reason. Please go ahead.
And that is exactly why I called you this morning, my leader. I am very, very grateful to reach you because it has been a long while. I have tried my best to reach you, but all to no avail. And I'm very grateful this morning. Sir, I am very, very happy. Meeting you today is an opportunity that I will never forget in my entire life. And I will tell it to my children. Sir, what I want to say is about the issue of what is going on in Nigeria right now. Now, our people are being fragmented to the extent that things are getting worse. Because now the fuel pump is very, very high. Now, traveling from Biafra land to Lagos and all this traveling are very, very expensive. Everything is now very, very expensive. And our people are not ready to do anything about it. And the issue is this. This Fulani Janjaweed, they are using this opportunity to gather more money to keep on fighting us. So as the point reached like this, so I want to know, are we going to keep on being quiet over this issue while they are using the resources in our land to be gathering more money to fight us? Or are you going to declare Biafra? That is my number one question, to declare Biafra, because the thing is getting out of hand. Because I know very well that we have men on ground that can defend our territory. Number two question is this. So I have said in many occasions that we are not going to reign nor rule us or lead us when Biafra is actually achieved. So I want to know, what if we IPOB worldwide insist that you must rule us or lead us to show us a shining example of what leadership or a president is all about in Africa, because we are about to experience the best government, the best nation ever in the history of black race. So I want to know what you have to say about it. What if we say no, that you must reign or lead us to show us a shining example? So that is number two. Number three is this. You gave 40 days ultimatum for the checkpoint in Biafra land to be evacuated or to be removed, because they are using this means to be killing our people, doing a lot of things. You will buy one bag of rice from Lagos, you want to give your people from in your village. They will just block everything on the way and collect everything. And they don't know what you went through to be able to get this. And at the same point, they are killing and extorting money from our people. And in this the same checkpoint, they don't want anything good from other places to reach Biafra land. They have been doing a lot of bad things in that checkpoint issue. Sir, I want to know if your order is still intact, that after 40 days ultimatum, that this checkpoint will no more be seen in our great land, Biafra. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and remain where you are, and I'm going to answer your question. After 40 days, there will be no checkpoint in our land. They will try because they are friendly, they are Janjaweed. They want to show the world that they are in power, they are in command. They own the army, they own the air force, they own everybody. That is the way they behave. But they're in for a very rude awakening, I assure them. I'll get to the issue of checkpoints in a minute. Am I going to declare Biafra? The answer is no. You people will declare Biafra or give us the mandate. I said us, not me. Give us the mandate to declare Biafra. Before Ojukwu declared Biafra, he was given a mandate. Then the cockroach, the hotelier, came and was declaring Biafra. I think after every 6 months, he would declare Biafra. And nothing happened. They will settle him. He went and sat down. Another person came out a few days ago to say he's declaring Biafra. It is an insult to our collective intelligence that anybody should come out to declare anything without proper consultation. You know, they try to accuse us of not consulting properly. What we are doing is the groundwork. Our people are Republicans. Our people are Democrats by nature. Everybody wants to be consulted. And when the time comes, everybody will be consulted. As I said before, they tried to push me to declare Biafra, and I said, no, I cannot declare Biafra. I don't have the authority. I am not Biafra. I am a Biafran citizen, only one person among 70 million people. I don't have that power nor the right to do so. I am not a dictator. The reason why we put IPOB on the straight and narrow is because we need to enforce discipline. There is a level of discipline you require when you are facing a very recalcitrant enemy or when you are surrounded by enemies. That is only what we try to instill inside IPOB. That doesn't mean when it comes to the issue of governance or matters of state, we now arrogate powers to ourselves. No, we're not going to do that. What we'll do is to wait for you Biafrans to say, now is the time to go ahead. Everybody will be involved. And then Biafra, you cannot declare Biafra without defending your borders. It doesn't make any sense. The day we are declaring Biafra, we are defending our borders that same day. If we see any Janjaweed, that Janjaweed is dead. If they fly their aeroplane, we bring it down. So we know what we are doing. I don't want people to rush us. We want to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. We know what we are doing. Our people should not be in a hurry. Nobody is in more, should I say, urgent need of Biafra more than myself, because we have suffered and have continued to suffer. But we must do it accordingly, or else our people will break away. Some of them break and run back to Fulani and say, this is not what we planned. And they go and connive with them. We want to make sure that every avenue for saboteurs is shut down. Every avenue of the escape will be shut down. People should believe in what we are doing. Our strategy is spot on, and we can never fail. I am not going to declare any Biafra, not now, until you give me the mandate to do so, because we are Democrats. Any idiot can declare whatever he or she thinks works for them. If the zoo can give them money because they declared Biafra, that's all. But I know that the DSS is behind it. As I said, there was an article written. They did it in order to show to think that the world will buy this nonsense that IPOB, this noble family, is divided. That's all. So this person has his own faction when it's a lie, a proper lie. It was DSS that declared Biafra. The Department of State Secret Service in Nigeria, State Police, they're the ones that declared it, because these are their agents. They give money to them. But you can see how we all responded. Nobody accepted that garbage because we have not finished doing the groundwork. I know we are all in a hurry, but in due time or in due course, you will give us the mandate to declare Biafra, and then Biafra will be declared. Then that same minute, we are defending our borders. That same minute, our army will be unveiled. You don't sit in your house when you run out of money or pipeline security contract. You want a new one to be renewed because Dangote is now canvassing for security guard to guard his pipeline from Bayelsa to Lagos, his new refinery. You now come up with this gimmick so they can give you money. These are hungry people, and we are not. No declaration of Biafra until we have your mandate to do so. That's number one. Number two, I will not lead Biafra. There are people, I believe, who will be more competent than myself to lead Biafra when the time comes. Only Biafrans can choose who is going to lead them. And Biafra will not even have a chairman or a president. My recommendation, which I will urge people to vote for in a referendum, is to have a confederate system and to have premiers managing each and every of the regions. That is what we are going to do. That is something we must understand. A prime minister, yes, but not a president. We are not going to concentrate power in the hands of only one man. It is not going to happen. Very, very important that we understand this, please. And about the checkpoints, after 40 days, there'll be no more checkpoints because they are using it to abduct our people. They are using it to kill our people. They are using it to make life difficult for us. There will be no checkpoint. And then there will be no apologies for any action we are going to take. And I want the world to take down 2 telephone numbers. Even from today, wherever you see a checkpoint from this very morning in Biafra land, I am going to give you 2 numbers this morning, please. They are our inquiry lines. If you have any issues, if you have any case, if you spot any saboteur, if you know anybody who is pointing out our people to be arrested, you have their name, you know where they come from, I am going to give you a number this morning to call. That very number, once you call it, you leave us your details, then we go and find those people. We go and locate the checkpoints, and then the rest will be done. The numbers are, now I'll give you the number in a minute. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning to you.
My name is Simon. I am calling from America, Spain.
From Spain.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Honestly, I just want to thank you because most of the things you have taught them, issue of this ESN, you say the recruitment is enough because we don't want to destroy what we have built because the zoo is trying to infiltrate us, but yes. You're always ahead of them. Thank you for your wisdom and what you said about the Confederated State now. I like it because if you look in Switzerland, they never entrusted any power to one person. Each canton have their own leader. That is why they are progressing. All these things you are doing is very, very wonderful. And I want to touch against some things. Some people say that you arrange call. You arrange people to call you. But I have this money.
They want me to show. Now your name here is IPOB Almeria 2017 2222. Do I know who that person is? I don't know who you are. Let me finish. Anybody who has ever witnessed where we have done a live presentation and taken live calls, you will know that I never ever filter calls in my life. Never ever ever, because I prefer more difficult and harder questions. Because that brings clarity to what we are doing. When I answer or I respond, that brings clarity to what we are doing. That clears all the doubt. That is why we welcome it. Please, we do not filter any calls. If they want me, maybe next week, Friday, by the grace of the Most High, to record our entire, to actually relay it live by video, using 2 or 3 cameras, I will do so. I do not filter any calls, and I will never filter any calls, because I believe there is no question Chukwokika Abiyama will not give me the grace to answer. Please go ahead.
Please continue what you are doing. All this is distraction. There's one thing people don't know. Immediately you step out of this global family, you are gone. That thing that brought you up will bring you down.
Of course.
Some of them are there now. Nobody is calling them. They are imagined. All this call Nnamdi Kanu is getting, maybe he's arranging people. Since morning, I have been calling. this is something some of them don't understand because they will be there. Nobody called them. They think Mazi and the Kanu have is arranging call. These are people that have lost their way. I tell every one of them what brings us together is Mazi and the Kanu and the IPOB. And immediately he step out of this family, you are gone, not to confirm me and you again. So Mazi and the Kanu, don't listen to any distraction. Continue your mandate. Continue what you are doing. But you go guide your way. Guide your going out and coming in. Any evil man that meets you will run away. He said, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
They say we arrange calls and there are lunatics everywhere. We had a caller on the line. That caller is no longer there. Maybe they will call us back. Maybe they will try and call us back. There are many people who are calling, but I want to deal with one issue first. The last caller mentioned Switzerland. Switzerland is doing very well. And let me tell you why Britain said no to Abuli Accord. This is something that people, it's only now that we have hammered on this issue. It has now dawned on everybody that Britain never meant well for each and every one of us. I am a British citizen, don't get me wrong. There are good Britons, good English people, good Scottish people, good Welsh people, good wonderful Irish people. But there are very evil people amongst them as well. The caller on the line, can you hear me before I deal with the show, Switzerland? Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Uche. I'm calling from India.
Uche from India. We are listening. Please go ahead. The world is. Did I arrange you to call this line this morning as well, as they said?
No, I saw it on YouTube. I've been trying to get you online for a long time.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
I'm even surprised that I'm.
Thank you.
So just so for
can you speak English for us, please? Because Biafrans are all over the world. Some of them were even born outside Biafra land. Some Biafrans do not speak or understand English.
I'm just trying to make some things. So let's be using our own mother tongue. Understand?
Yes.
I think it's going to be more safer for us. Like Yoruba people, sometimes I'm going to their. You can never hear them speak English, but I don't. The problem that is what our Igbos see Igbo person. That person will speak Igbo to you. It's impossible. Everything is not English. But when we speak our language, know what we are saying. That is when you will go to their back, think you are standing at the front.
We shall do so. We shall do so in the future.
If we can be using Igbo, you understand? So let's have secrets.
No. Let me explain this to you, my dear sister. We will, but Biafra is more than Igbo speaking people. We are all Igbo people. I've said that many times, and I have irrefutable scientific facts to back up my claim. But the thing is that because the Igbo, let me say, the central speaking Igbo people from the lower Benue all the way to Ahoda never conquered anybody. One thing people don't understand is that even the Yoruba nation is not homogeneous. An Ijebu man is different from an Elaje man. Elaje man is different from somebody who comes from Ife, from Ile-Ife. They are all different people. But there was a conquest from Ile-Ife. The royalty from Ile-Ife spread out, the Oni and all the rest of them, over many years, and conquered other vassal, should I say, clans around them, and they all spoke one Igbo language. Sorry, one Yoruba language. Had there been an Igbo king, for instance, had there been an Igbo king, and that king decided to go on conquest, they will go and conquer other people, and by virtue of that, they will not start speaking Igbo language. The same way that Britain conquered us and we're speaking English. That's how this world works. Look at the parts of Africa conquered by French people. They are now today speaking French. The parts of Yoruba, people will not call Yoruba today. We are conquered by the throne of Ile-Ife, and they are now speaking Yoruba, a language we call the Yoruba. Look at the Hausas, for instance. The Hausas conquered a lot of people in the north and built their empire. Today, they are all speaking Hausa, of course, aided by their own invasion of the Fulani. So you must understand this. So in Biafra land, we never conquered anybody and nobody conquered us until the white man came. That's why we all speak English. Now, what we are going to do is this. We are having programs, we are scheduling programs on Radio Biafra where you will have this news that I'm broadcasting in Ibibio language, in Efik, in Izon language, in all the major languages that we have. And I think the major ones we have are Igbo, we have Ibibio, we have Izon. Even in Bayelsa, even in Ijoland, they have four languages, even more than 4. Are you aware of that? They have 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, of course. So if you now say that let somebody from let us speak Ijo language, there is not one Ijo language. Not one. They have a minimum of 4 major languages, and they do not understand each other. You must understand this very carefully, why we use English all the time. We have Isoko. Of course, Isoko is related to you, but we'll come to that later. We have Urobo, and we also have Ishekiri. So that is why we speak English. But we are now designing programs on Radio Biafra to accommodate all these dialects, to accommodate all these languages, to make sure that, as you quite rightly said, we communicate in a language that at least the enemy will take 1 or 2 days before they can decipher, take them 1 or 2 days before they can interpret and understand what we are saying. And also tagged on to that, because I said I'll answer this question, it's a good thing that you underline. In Switzerland, my dear sister, in Switzerland, they speak 3 different languages. In Switzerland. Yes. Do you know that? Switzerland, there is no official Swiss language, not one. They have 3 official languages in Switzerland. They speak German, they speak Italian, and they speak French in Switzerland. So depending on the canton you're in, what I was alluding to earlier is the fact that you can see how successful Switzerland is. They run a confederation. You can see how successful the UAE is. They run a confederation. You can see how successful the United Kingdom is. They run a quasi-confederation because Wales have their own parliament. They make their own laws. They speak Welsh language. Do you know that in Britain, it is not only English that is the language in Britain? Are you aware of that? There is something called Kanu, which is Welsh. Yes, of course, in Wales. The same United Kingdom, the same Britain, the same UK. They speak a different language from English. The same UK, they speak Celtic language in Scotland. The language of Scotland is Celtic. They are Celtic people. In Wales, they speak the Welsh language. It is not English. Not English, not at all. This is something that our people don't know. But I'm telling you now, because there are some people bringing up their children in Wales not to speak English at all. No English. If you go to Wales, you will see English, a road or a city in English. You see the Welsh translation of that. Should Wales become independent tomorrow, there will be no English spoken there. Should Scotland decide to go the way of the ancients and go back to their original language, the Celtic language, it is not English. Irish is something. Of course, it's the same language, Republic of Ireland and also Scotland. They are ancient people of the land of Britain. These are the things that most people do not understand. In Switzerland, they have 3 languages because you have Germans in Switzerland, you have Italians, you have French. Nobody is fighting. Do you know why? Because everybody is allowed to be on their own, to develop according to their own pace. That was what Ojukwu went to negotiate in Aburi with Gowon. Gowon saw sense in it, but as soon as they got a call from the British High Commissioner saying refuse it, Gowon and the Fulani Janjaweed never asked themselves, why would Britain not want us to implement this very act? Why would Britain deny us what they themselves have? Because we are black people, we never reason along those lines. That is the reason why the zoo is in a mess today. But look at Switzerland, they're doing very well. UK is doing very well. And UAE is doing very well.
Exactly.
But they don't want us to have the same thing. And that was why there was a war. People don't know this. Nigeria did not fight a war because of secession. No, they fought a war between those that wanted restructuring and those that did not want restructuring. There's something happening today. And Nigeria will go to war again because
I don't know why they take that thing so personal, because it's happening in this India. There is a place they call Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu, yes, I know Tamil Nadu.
Bangladesh,
yes.
I mean to say.
Yes, Bangladesh.
Bangladesh was in India, but now they have their own country. Are you getting me? So there was right? There was no war. They just settle everything amicable. I'll be thinking, how is all this Nigeria thinking? So I'm telling you, I say if Biafra did not come, I will not come back. I will live in India because India is more Nigeria itself. People that everything they're using their economy is growing. Even toothpick, anything a big rich man will use, a poor man will use it too.
I agree with you.
They don't say, this food is only for a poor, rich people. This one is only for rich people. If they make it in 1,000, they are in 1 naira where the poor man can afford it. But in our country, no. I'm just happy. If all there a lot of come back, but things is not as in, I don't know to say it. Okay, look at it this morning. Someone sent me hometown, Okija, that's still doing information that somebody killed a young guy and they take up his head. You know, I will send you the video. So I'm saying is Firami people. Some people are saying is you know, so we don't know. We are still making investigate to know what.
I don't want you to despair because your line is breaking up. Your line is breaking up, my dear sister. Let me answer some of your questions. All this nonsense are happening because we are in a place called the zoo. That is the reason why once we leave the zoo, our lives will be a lot more better. I said I'm going to give you telephone numbers to call anytime you see any checkpoint anywhere in Biafra land. I'm going to give you 2 lines to call. Only 2 lines, please. If you see a saboteur, if you see somebody pointing it at people, these are the numbers to call. If you have any inquiries regarding what is happening, these are the numbers to call. If you want any issues clarified, these are the numbers to call. Please get your pen and paper ready. I will give you these 2 numbers, especially for those. It doesn't matter where you are. They are inquiry lines, please. +49 is a German. These 2 are German numbers. +49 162 730 6732. That's the first line. I repeat, +49 or 0049 if you are in a civilized place. In the zoo, it is 00949, but it is +49 162 730 6732. That's number 1 line. I'm going to give you another line as well. Same German line. +49 1766 7393 410. I repeat, +49 176 again 7393 410. Those are the 2 lines to call. Is our inquiry line. Anything, any questions you have regarding what we are doing, those are the lines to call. +49 162 730 6732. Again, +49 1766 7393 410. Inquiry lines, not for our program this morning. The line to call for our program this morning is different, but I'll give it to you after this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
This is Tam.
Sorry, what is your name again?
Tam from Sapele.
From Sapele, Tam from Sapele. Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
I really want to answer a question, but I don't want you to answer it on air. If you can reach me back.
Ask the question. If the question is not about me going to kill somebody, then you can ask that question live on air. What question? Let me ask you first of all. Are you what is your nationality? What is your ethnic nationality in Biafra land? Where do you come from?
Ijo.
You are Izon. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
what
sir.
question do you ask? Please go ahead.
The question is that concerning the militants, the ex-militants.
Yes.
Have you met with the
we are talking to every Biafran. Now I understand where you're going. We are talking to every Biafran of importance, not pigs or pipeline security guards. No, not gluttonous, money hungry demons. No, we are talking to patriotic Biafrans across the range. You may call them militants, I call them Biafrans, right across the board, because together we are going to set ourselves free. No one entity can do it. That is a very known fact. Even our Yoruba brethren, they have realized that we must come together to defeat this monster, because the Fulanis, they have Britain behind them. They have the UK behind them. We have nobody behind us except God Almighty in heaven, and ourselves. That is why we must come together. And that is why there can no longer be any division. Anywhere you see division, then you abandon it. We are speaking to everybody, every Biafran, militants and otherwise. And together we are marching resolutely towards one destination, and that destination is freedom.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's why I'm asking this question.
Why are you asking?
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Because why I'm asking this question is that because there are some set of people that have the capacity of commanding their people like you do in IPOP. There are some people that have that capacity.
We are speaking to them. I can assure you, my dear brother, I can assure you that we are speaking to everybody. We are speaking to them. I had a meeting. Okay, I'm not going to say the type of meetings. I have meetings all the time with people of importance. The issue of Biafra is resonating everywhere. It doesn't matter where you come from. Izon, Urobo, Ishekiri, all the rest of it. Everybody wants to be free. If not for what we are doing, do you think that our Yoruba brethren could have been doing what they're doing today? Because they have seen that we are movable, that we are unshakable, that what we've been saying is right. Now everybody is joining. And I can assure you that the zoo has come to an end, more or less. It is only for us to push it a little bit and it topples over. That is why we must remain very strong and resolute. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you very, very much for your call. We have callers everywhere from all over the place. They say we are, some people are crazy. We arrange our calls, whatever that, arrange our calls. Some people are mad. Let us take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? The caller on the line, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mazi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Akukalo. I'm from Abreba, Affe province.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Sir, please, I have only one question. I want to ask you about, you say you are going to run a confederation. And I want to ask you, what about our monarchs? Are you going to demolish all this monarchy?
Everything will be up to the people to decide. We are going to have, Biafra is going to be a democratic nation. Anything we want to do, we ask the people. Because in some places, they have royalty. They love it, they like it. They claim it's their tradition. I don't think it is. But the claim is that. So we're going to ask people, do you want Biafra to be a confederate quasi-monarchical system where you have the prime minister, you have the Eze, you have the Igwe, you have the Obong, you have the Amainabo, you have the Obi, you have all these people? Is that what you want? Yes or no? If the people vote for an outright republic, then they get a republic. If they vote for a mixture of I don't know, a kind of a hybrid between a monarchical system and the Republican system, then anything that works for us, we are going to adopt. Left for me personally, I don't want any royalty, because we are all created equal before God Almighty in heaven. No man is bigger than the other man. I don't believe in all that royalty nonsense. I don't believe in it. His Royal Highness, His Royal Lowness, and all that crap. That is why I never answer a prince. That is why I don't believe in all of that rubbish. I don't believe in it. So if you people say you want royalty, then fine. Who am I to decide? 80 million people will decide, or 70 million, as the case may be. not for me alone to decide. Never, ever, ever. You people will decide what you want. You are going to get the country that you want. My input will be there, but I'm not going to force anybody to adopt it. We are all going to argue and debate, and at the end of the day, we then vote for what we want. Is that very clear?
Sir, for my take, yes, very clear, sir. For my take, sir, let all those monarchs, they need to be demolished because they are all compromised. We don't need them. We need to try something new, something much more better for me. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your contribution. I like it. I welcome it. That is the type of debate I want to have. I believe. Let me make it clear that the numbers I mentioned before, they are our inquiry lines, please. They are our inquiry lines. +49 162 730 6732 and +49 176 673 93410. They are our inquiry lines only on Signal and Telegram, please. You know, we are running away from WhatsApp. You know, that boy is very greedy. Onyoshiko is a greedy thief. He will sell anything for money. If you know what Facebook is doing, you will not even be on Facebook, I'm telling you. You know, they take monies from countries all over the world to suppress opposition voices. That's what Facebook does. Do you know that on my two accounts, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu official on Facebook, I cannot post on it. It's there, but I can't post on it. Even all the admin on the pages, they remove them because they don't want the world to hear the truth. So these lines are on Signal and Telegram, +49 162 730 6732. Save it, please. Any inquiry you have regarding IPOB is there. Another number is +49 17 66 73 93410. Signal and Telegram only, please. The zoo cannot hack it. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Good morning, sir. My name is Wisdom Pozoma Acho. I'm calling from Abasa.
From Abasa, yes, go ahead.
Mazi, I want to thank you for the good work you are doing. May Chukwu Kikabema bless you because it's not been easy. That
was in that time. Go ahead, please. That was in that time. Go ahead.
So I would really want to thank God because God hanged this upon you. And my first question I want to ask, before the white man came, my father told me that we have been circumcising our male child here. Before Britain came, we have been circumcising the male children here, our male child. Then secondly, who handed Nigeria over to Fulani? I don't just know who handed Nigeria over to Fulani, and they are terrorizing everybody, killing everybody. And how old was Zeke and Awolowo when they did the amalgamation? Who was there when they signed those documents? And Britain has been suffering us for all these years. I don't just know who handed it over because I'm confused here.
No, nobody handed over anything to them. They just came, saw, conquered, and took everything for themselves. And when they were leaving, they had a choice of either handing over power to Azikiwe, who is the only frontline nationalist never to lead his country, so to speak, or a nation that he helped to liberate. And let me go back to the question. In 1914, when they amalgamated, there was no Zeke, there were little children, no Awolowo. You should ask yourself, where were our fathers then in 1914? Nobody was consulted. Only one white man and one white woman, they sat down together somewhere in Lokoja after drinking brandy and whiskey. Decided that these people should be together. And why did they amalgamate the North and the South? Because the North was poor. When they keep trotting out all these their lies, they had granite before they discovered oil. We had granite. Granite was sustaining Nigeria. Imagine the lies they tell themselves in the North. When the documents, the zoo people don't read. Nigerians, those animals, they don't read. The amalgamation papers are there. What does the amalgamation paper say? It says that the reason they asked Lugard in the House of Commons, why are you amalgamating the North and the South? Lugard said because the North is poor. The North is not viable. They have been poor from the beginning. They are parasites, and they are poor till today, and they will remain poor forever and ever. That's how Chukwu Kabiyama made them. Now, coming back to what you said about Zeke. Zeke, I don't know if it was about 4 years old. I think I was, I don't know, maybe 2.5. I don't even think then that Ahmadu Bello had been born. So who was there when this zoo you call Nigeria was created? That is what we are trying to get black people to reason. Our job here is to get people to reason properly. Because black people, of course, some people are now reasoning properly, but in the men in the zoo, they don't reason properly. That was the lie that we are telling. Ojukwu seceded, secessionists. Nobody said that the war of Biafra was fought between those that believed in restructuring and those that were against restructuring. It was a war about restructuring, not about secession. And that's what we have to correct. Now, let me make it very, very clear, not just to yourself, but to everybody who is listening, that Nigeria is a joke, one almighty joke, where lies and deception obtain. Where lies and deception obtain at all times. No Nigerian created any Nigeria because there is no Nigerian. You are either from Biafra, you Duduwa, you are from Arewa, you are from Kwarafa Kingdom, which is the Middle Belt. Nobody is a Nigerian. And I've said this thing many times. If I ask you now to send your wife or your girlfriend or your lover, please go and dress like a Nigerian and come out. It's a simple experiment. Please, can you give me the Nigerian dressing? Dress the way a Nigerian should dress and come out. We'll start dragging that person. One will say, oh, it's Yoruba. The other one will say is a Biafran dressing. Another one will say it is a northern dressing or middle belt. There is not even one common food. No common religion, no common food, no common language, not even the way they dress. Nothing unites them together. Yet some people are idiotically saying they're from Nigeria. And I feel sorry for them because they are black people. They're ignorant. They're very foolish. They cannot reason very well. Your grandfathers were there or your ancestors were there, and the white man and white woman traveled all the way from England, came to Nigeria and said, from today, your name is Nigeria. And all of you are jumping up and down like monkeys saying, I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Nigerian. But anytime you say you are a Nigerian, you are reinforcing your idiocy and your ignorance. That's all I can say. You are reinforcing your stupidity. That means that you are a stupid creature. I'm telling you the truth. That's why we preach this gospel of heaven.
Another thing I want to say is this.
Very quickly.
Hello, these security operative. These all these janjaweed that are on the road, collecting money, extorting money from people, and they are secretly taking people from Abba here. Once they see anything IPOB on your phone or anything that's because me now.
Tell us. I have given two numbers. Listen to me, please. I have given two numbers. Anywhere you see such, anytime you see such a thing happening, I don't need to complain anymore. Just report the checkpoint or the police station they came from, and you hear the story afterwards. That is all. Anywhere you see them abducting people, listen to me. Listen again. Anywhere you observe them doing all these things, call one of the lines. Anybody they are using, give us the name of the person. That's all. That's all. And you hear the story afterwards. There will be no checkpoint in our land. Anywhere you see a checkpoint, you report it. Because I know Fulani, they are very, very stupid and stubborn. Very stupid and idiotic. Britain will say to them, nothing will happen. Go and set up your checkpoint. And they will keep burying their dead. That I can assure you. I can assure you of that. I'm saying it in the open. I'm not hiding it. They will, as long as they have checkpoints in our land, they will keep dying. Every day, they will die. Thank you very much for your call. Once again, when we are live on air, there's a number to call. That very number to call, I shall endeavor to give it to you. This is our line for this broadcast this morning. The number to call is +44 7761. I repeat, +44 7761 825346. That's the number to call this morning if you have any questions to ask. The other numbers I gave you is if there is any checkpoint where you are, if people are disturbing our people, just call that number and you would have done your job. Just call that very number, please. Our lines are open. If you wish to call us, then you are more than welcome to do so. If you are in the habit of calling before, please allow other first-time callers to be able to call as well, please. Allow other first-time callers to call. I am begging you, please allow them to call. Because if you have there are people who have been struggling for years to try and get hold of us. Sometimes if you call us and we cannot take your call, some of you may be very lucky. I shall endeavor to call you back. I have a caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please.
Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning to you. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ogwejo Fobidiko Koyi. I'm calling from Sri Lanka.
From Sri Lanka.
I'm really grateful.
Hold on.
Yes, I'm calling from Sri Lanka.
From Sri Lanka. Do we have a family in Sri Lanka? Is there IPOB family in Sri Lanka?
Yes, we have an IPOB family in Sri Lanka.
Wonderful. Please go ahead. Just to let the world know that we're everywhere. Please go ahead.
Sir, I'm really grateful to reach you this morning. Sir, thank you very much for the wonderful work you are doing for the people of IPOB and the people of Biafra.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So Mazi, I only have one question. I only have one question to ask. My question is like this.
We are waiting for your question.
Money that is in the...
Sorry, go ahead. What did you say?
Yes, I said what will happen to the Biafra money that is in the school account if Biafra is restored?
We'll collect everything from them. We know they're holding our money. We'll take everything the zoo has. We're going to take from them. Everything of ours they have at the moment, we are going to get from them. It is easier for us to get our stolen properties back from the zoo with an independent Biafra than for us to be living in the damnable zoological republic. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you. Somebody said the number again. Why don't you write it down? People are coming and asking for the number. Others should please try and post this number on those of you on Instagram. Somebody wrote on Instagram and said, I am on Instagram as a matter of fact. They say if you have to be on Instagram, you have to be posting pictures and slaying. So we are also trying to do, these things are too modern for me. We are trying to do that as well to get people on that very platform to be part of what we are doing. If you call, I will accept your call, of course. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are. The caller on the line, can you hear me for the last time?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Please raise your voice for me. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, my name is Nkiru Kawankwo, calling from Spain.
Nkiru Kawankwo from Spain. Please go ahead. We are listening.
Okay, sir. My question is this. I want to know what will happen between the Idu people and the Yoruba. How are we going to rectify it? Because some of them are believing that the Oba of Benin is from Ile-Ife, is not a citizen.
Yes.
Then if Biafra comes, what will be the difference between how are we going to settle with the Yorubas on that issue?
We are going to, very simple, you ask the people. We are not going to be like the zoo. We are going to ask the people of Idu, Igodomigodo, especially within the Benin Kingdom itself. I don't want us to confuse Benin Kingdom with the whole of Edo. The whole of Edo is not Benin Kingdom because we have Igbo Akre, Wanke, Igbo people inside the Edo state. They are not part and parcel of the Benin Kingdom. Now we will ask those who are covered, should I say, under the jurisdiction of the ancient Benin Kingdom, what do you want? They will tell us if they want to be part of Biafra, or if they want to be part of Oduduwa, or if they want to be on their own. I gave an example many years ago, even before I became convinced, even before they lectured me about the history of Idu, Igodomigodo land. I said it, that what my preference would be to give Benin monarchy the status of Monaco you have in France. France is a republic. Because that is why this question answer is very, very good, to enlighten and to educate. France is a republic, but inside that republic, you have Monaco. And Monaco is a principality, not principality, the one the Pentecostalists pray about, the realm of Satan. No, not that principality, please. We have the very beautiful principality of Monaco, operating under a republican nation like France. The same thing can apply. We can give the Oba of Benin that very special status in Biafra or in Oduduwa. If they opt out of Biafra, then they can negotiate with the Oduduwa brethren. It's not our business. But if they want to be part of Biafra, then my personal preference would be to accord the throne of Benin Kingdom is one that I respect very much. They fought the British.
Okay,
I respect them, but the people will decide. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, why am I asking this question is that the real Igbo people are fighting back for their land, and the other Benin have been selling their land out. So if those land can be retrieved back, or what will happen to them? Because the ancestral land are being taken by most of these traditional rulers and kings and the obas.
No, the rightful owners of the land, because sometimes in history they will ask you, how far back do you want to go? Let me go back to Britain as an example once again. Do you know the English people you hear about who are dominating UK politics? Do you know the English people? If I ask you now, where is England? You say England is in the United Kingdom. Is that not correct? Who is the ruler of UK? Is the Queen of England. The Crown of England is the one that rules Ireland, Northern Ireland, that rules Scotland, that rules Wales. That very House of Windsor. They will produce the head of state in perpetuity, or until the people say, no, we've had enough. We want to become a republic. Now listen to this. The English people are not original to the British Isles. The owners of Britain are the Welsh people and the Scottish people and the Irish people. They are the Celtic nations. They are the owners. English people only came with the invasion of the Normans. But before that, there were the Saxons. The Saxons came, and the Angles came. That's where you get the word English language. The Angles from Denmark. Understand this very, very well. That's why they call them the Anglo-Saxon people. The English people you see today are more related to Germans from Lower Saxony than they are related to Scottish people and to Welsh people. Allow me to repeat. So if you now say that if the original owners of the land of Britain, the Isles, or the British Isles, which is the Scottish people, the Welsh people, were to say, this is our land, then what happens to the English people that are there today? How far back in history can you go? That is the problem we are going to have with Igoromigoro. And we must be very, very careful how we deal with it. How far back do you want to go? Do you want the crown in Benin City to now go back to Ile-Ife? Then what happens to the children and all the people, all the villages that have been formed over the years as a result of the presence of that very kingdom that you have in Benin City? English people are not original to UK. They are original to Lower Saxony in Germany. They are original to Denmark, the Angles. In 1066, I think if I'm not mistaken, the king, a French king, conquered from Normandy. The Normans, they came, his name is William. William the Conqueror, he's called. He was the one that came at the Battle of Hastings. That is why there is a place in Kent. The name of the village is called Battle. That is where you got the dictionary word battle. When I'm fighting with them, I'm saying we are going into battle. It's the name of a village in England. Why is it? Why was it adopted and put in the dictionary? Because that was where the Norman king from France, from Normandy, his name is William the Conqueror. He's not British. He's not English. He's French. He was the one that conquered the Celtic kings at the Battle of Hastings in Kent today. The name of the village is called Battle till tomorrow morning. That is where you got the word battle from. So the French came, the Normans came and defeated the Celtic kings that you had, or some who said the Saxon kings that you had, and imposed the French rule. And that was the rise of the modern British monarchy you see today, that metamorphosed into the House of Windsor from that very throne. If you go to the House of, or should I say, to the Parliament in the UK, you will see it. The throne or the chair that the Norman king sat when they ruled England. That was how this whole thing came about. And subsequently, they conquered Wales. They fought many wars with Scotland. Now they went into a union. And then that very alliance, because even in the royal house you have in England, they have Scottish people who were married there. At a point, also, Scottish people were the kings also of England. So they are mixed. If you ask them to go, who goes to where? That is the problem we have in Igoromigoro land. But in time, we're going to solve it because the people will decide. Thank you very much for your call. Very, very intelligent call, and I love that call this very morning. We have about 15 more minutes to stay live on the air, please. If you are used to calling, allow other people to make their own contribution, allow other people to call. Somebody said I should give them the number again. We do not select those that call us. Let me take this very call. It's going to be very interesting. The caller on the line, can you hear me? I think Owa was trying to call. And please, Owa, please try and hold on for a second. I am trying as much as I can to get your call to come out on speaker. I am trying the much I can. Please hold on. Give us your name again and where you're calling from, please.
Yes, sir. Mazi, good morning, sir. I love you very much. My name is Uwa Sophia Obaze. I love you, sir. You know, if I can take your brain and put it on my own, I could have been very happy. Thank you, sir. Sir, I want to thank you, sir, for all what you are doing for us. But my own contribution is that, sir, yes. Thank you for the answer you give to our sister from Spain. I love that answer because I've answered it many, many times. You can't drive the people there away. They have stayed there for 800 years, so we cannot drive them away. People have to decide their fate. So I'm not going to talk about that one because you have answered the question. Sir, I want to my own opinion. Our Aboriginal people have to get up, sir. You understand? Yes. IPOB, we are just on our own. You see what happened in NSAS? You know, when a citizen of the land is fighting the government, all of them will be confused. Sir, I know I have my own platform, but many people hear my voice here. It go all over the world. So I'm pleading with our Aboriginal people, our soldiers now. We have to fight. We have to get up and fight. Because in the north, yesterday, I saw one thing on Facebook where they were tying our people's hands. Those people in the middle bed, they will tie their hand back. The army and the police, they will be using sticks to cut their legs and cut their hands, using cutlass to cut their legs. So my people in the land, what to do to our middle bed, Biafra, please, let's do this thing right now. I know that you people tried during the NSAS protest, but our government, the useless Zoo Republic, they oppress you with their gun and bullets. But this time, my people, please, we have to stand up and do it. Because our girls that they are calling me, they are in the custody. They are beating them, raping them. They are not even giving them food. Please, my people of Biafra, people of Arewa, people of Oduduwa, please, let's do it. Let's do it. We know that war is not beautiful, but they are still going to kill our people anyway. Please, that is my own opinion. Please, the Aboriginal people, we have to get up and fight. When we are fighting, then Eastern security will not support us. And Mazi, please, I know I am your daughter. Please, when we get up next time, I know you like to praise us so that we do more. But don't talk. Don't just talk. Let our people deal with the Zoo government. Because we have been suffering for a long time. Let us get this freedom once and for all. Because immediately they hear your voice, they'll say, hey, you understand? So let our people deal with the Zoo government. Just leave them. Because this revolution we are going to fight, there will be no leader. Because I see some people that they call themselves celebrities, they will want to come and be our youth leader. So the government will not call them back. They will go and settle them. They will collect their share and they will come and be confusing our youth. So we don't need that. The revolution is everybody speak for yourself. It will be very sweet, my people. Please, let's stand up because of the people that they are beating, they are killing, they are in custody. Let's stand up once and for all. Please, my Igodo brother, you people are very radical. My Igbo brother, please, my Joe, please, let us leave that for now. Let us everybody be free for one. I see that many of you like leader. I want to be a leader. I want to be a leader. Let's leave that. Don't kill all of you now. Thank you, Mazi. That is my contribution. God bless you, sir, for this opportunity. Please, Let us do it once and for all. Thank you, Baba. Thank you,
sir. Thank you very much, our dear sister. She was amongst those that tutored me on the need for Igodomigodo to be part and parcel of Biafra. And I accepted that very gospel that she preached to me. And now I have seen reason and sense in what most of them have been talking about, almost all of them, who are at the forefront of this very effort that we are making. Sadly, I wish to announce the passing of our dear sister Chioma Emesaronya from the UK family, Forest Gate, London, Southeast Zone of the IPOB family. I know I suspended the IPOB family in the UK for a reason. And because I have received this announcement, I must make it. She passed on and we need to take her body back home. And I want our people, I will temporarily lift the suspension on the entire UK family to gather and to make sure that we send her body home and do what we are supposed to do, because we are one family. We don't get buried abroad. We send our people back home, and I want her body to be sent home. Chioma and Mr. Onye, IPOB family, especially those of you in London, will get together to make sure that we'll move her body home. I also have another announcement to make. Lance Corporal Gabriel Ozoma Morocco is going to be our new, some people call it Forest Gate. It's not Forest Gate, it's the entire Southeast Zone. Is now going to be our new coordinator in the UK for Forest Gate, for London. And the meeting is held in Forest Gate. Let me make it very clear. But it's now going to be our coordinator for London and the Southeast. Gabriel Ozoma Morocco, he's our veteran. He fought in the war. He is now the new coordinator for that area. And he replaces Uzuaka, whom I am moving to a special office under me. He'll be working directly under me. He is the replacement for Uzuaka. And Uzuaka, if you're listening, please give Gabriel Ozoma Morocco, he's our veteran. Lance Corporal Gabriel Ozoma Morocco, he is now the new coordinator for London and regional coordinator for Southeast. Give him all the support and help that he needs. And I will announce the portfolio for Uzuaka in the coming days and weeks. From today onwards, Gabriel Ozoma Morocco is now the new coordinator of that. Because of the death of this, our sister, the passing of her Chioma Emesaronya, I'm making all these changes to take effect immediately and to make sure that we organize to send her body home. Very, very important, please. And I want to thank Uzuaka for the job, wonderful, excellent job that he has done for IPOB in that capacity. He is now moving on to greater and bigger things for us. Very, very critical that we all understand it. And I am waiting. We also have, I have a new coordinator for the UK because Dr. Justice Okachi is now the head of our medical corps. He's a medical doctor, and he is the head of medical corps of IPOB all over the world. Not just previously the UK national coordinator, but now the head of our medical corps all over the world. Dr. Okachi is now the head of our medical corps. And in due course also, I will announce the UK coordinator. I had a meeting with her yesterday, our new UK coordinator and her lovely husband. And she's going to do a lot of work for us in the UK. I will announce her name in due course. But for now, the new coordinator for London and Southeast is our veteran, Gabriel Ozoma Morocco. Thank you very much. I will do everything we can to send the body of our sister home. Very important for burial. The caller on the line, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra.
Yes, I can hear you very clear. Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please, I just want to just drop this because it has been a long time I never get you. My name is Mazi. We come and name. Italy comes to he has slave trade maybe in Anapani. Then I hear no missionary and colonization maybe in Anapani. Only Wundibani is clean our people now. What Wundibani, they was in the Bani take it out. We are to know Munanine. They want to money, we see.
I will translate for people who don't understand. Go ahead.
Yes, please. We want our people to tell our people to go back and ask what is happening at Umunna in our kindred. And each family have their own cross to carry now. Many people don't know what is happening, but this is our platform. I'm happy for your work, for what you are doing. We have been doing it since we follow. I started following you since 2012 to 2013. You know, and you went to prison. We started doing it. Yes, Obindiche stand for you. Obindiche stand for you. The one Obohi is leading. You understand me? Yes. They have gone far. They have gone far. As you are today, Obindiche know who you are, and they stand for you. Nothing will happen to you. Anybody that talk against you is feeling the pains immediately. Thank you very much, Mazi Nnamdi.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. The way he spoke when he started was so sweet. I didn't want to cut him out because, like English language, you know, you need to learn and study your language for you to grasp it very well. There are vocabularies, there are words that are not used on everyday basis. Unfortunately, when colonial masters came, we stopped developing our indigenous languages. We stopped adding new words to it, and only decided to let. I'm not saying English is a very beautiful, very fantastic language. I love it very much. After all, the greatest country in the world, USA, is using English language. So there's nothing wrong with it. But we also need to develop our own. What it's saying, in essence, is that the effect of colonialism and the influence of Europe has been very, very damaging to our psyche and our way of life. There's something called Omonna, which is a collection of the kindred. If you don't belong to Omonna, you are nobody. In fact, in those days, when you're removed from Omona, you go and die. It is everywhere across the entire Biafra land. From Lower Bis in Igede is in Idoma. Everywhere. That is how you know. But in Janjaweed, they don't have it. People ask me all the time, oh, where is Biafra boundary? How do we start? Where do we go? Who are we? And I said, do you have Omona? Omona is a collection of the kindred. You must belong to it. If you don't belong, you are nobody. Janjaweed, they don't have it, but we do. That is why we are special, and we are Biafrans. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are, if you may. The caller on the line, hello. Can you hear me, please? Yes, your name and where you are.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good morning to you from here. Please go ahead, we're listening.
Yeah, my name is Edom Abuchirubem. I'm calling from the Republic of Seychelles.
Please go ahead.
Mazi, I quickly have 3 questions for you, sir.
Go ahead.
One is, yes. My first question is, considering I was made to understand that the miracle that happened to our people when they were living from Israel, down from Egypt down to the Promised Land, also happened to the progenitors of our ancestors when they got to the Omambala River. Is that true? Or you say that's my first question?
That is true, because on Omambala River, if you on low tide, you will see stones on the floor on the bed of the river where they marched and crossed. The same thing happened. If you go to Omambala on low tide, that is why our tourism will be the best in the whole world when Biafra comes. We'll go and show you where our progenitors, the last wave of the migration that came from the Afar region of Ethiopia, marching through the East Central Africa, marching through the Congo, Gabon, Cameroon, that came into our land. We will show you where they crossed and settled at Umweri and Aguilera.
Thank you, Wachineke.
Yes,
thank you. Then my second question is, considering our genetic Hebraic heritage, why was it that the synagogue was not scattered across Biafra land the way churches are today? That's my second question before I go to the last one, sir.
Because in our land, we are made up of 3 people, 3 migration, 3 groups make up Biafra land. The first, you have the original people in the land. I will give you the same biblical analogy. When the Israelites were moving into Jericho, for instance, and the wall of Jericho fell, there were some people from Jericho that survived that very onslaught. They survived it. There are some people who were still indigenous to the land of Canaan before it was taken over by children of light, by Israelites. They remain there. In our case, it is not different. We have the ancient people, the old people, they were still there. The first wave came from Egypt. They came through Sudan, through Yoruba land, and they settled in our land, through Goromigoro, and they settled. Second wave. I want to let the world understand that 3 distinct peoples make up Biafrans all over the world. The first are the original people, the people that know how to process palm oil. Palm oil, the original people. They are called the Bijango people that are now only found in Guinea. That is why if you go to Guinea, the same way we process palm oil is how they process it. They are called the Bijangos, the ancient people, the very old people, the oldest people on the face of the earth. That was why when the second wave came, that brought Igbo language with it. That is why there are similarities between Igbo and Yoruba language. They came through Sudan. They came through Yoruba land. As the migration was taking place, as the Israelites were leaving to go back to the land that God promised them, some people came eastwards rather than westwards. They came down and they came through Sudan, through Yoruba land, and they settled in our land. When they came to our land, listen very, very carefully, please. When they came to our land, they discovered that there were people there before them. They were the people that said that these are ancient people and called them Ndibo, old people, ancient people. And when they settled in the same Anambra, because everybody comes from Anambra State, Anambra is number 1, the first son, the number 1 child. Anywhere you come from, you're from Anambra, number 1. When they settled, they were the ones that gave the name Agolo-Zibo, which means this is the town in Agolo. Through this road in Agolo, will you now go to the settlement where the Igbo people are living, the ancient people? That is why you have the name Agolo, Ozo Igbo. Ozo Esi Agebendi Igbobi. Through this road, you go to Igbo settlements. Somebody gave them that name, not a white man. The second wave of Igbo people, or should I say Biafrans, that came from Egypt. Now you have the final wave that came before when Samaria was conquered. The Assyrians came and collapsed the northern Samaria. They now migrated. The house of Ephraim, the Ephraimites, the house of Ephraim, that came from a place you call Harish in Israel. The house of Ephraim, their soil in Israel is red as you have the soil in our land. Those people that know Israel very well. Now listen very carefully. Now, when this wave came, as a result of the collapse of the northern kingdoms by the Assyrians, they started their migration. They never came straight. They first of all went to the Kushite land. They went to Abyssinia, present-day Ethiopia. They stayed. That is where our name came from. They stayed in the Afar region. As I finished this morning, I give you biblical citation to tell you that God is with us. As they came, they settled in the land of Ethiopia, in the Afar region of Ethiopia. That is why if you go to the monasteries of Ethiopia and go to our ancient monasteries this morning, as I'm talking to you, if you go to Umweri and Aguleri and look at the women, the way they dress, and you go to Ethiopia, they dress the same way till this morning, this very morning as I'm preaching to you. This final wave came from the Holy Land, went to the Afar region of Ethiopia and sojourned. That's where we got our name from. Afar, Biafra, I'm coming to that. And they started the migration. From there, they passed through everywhere in the east. They passed through the likes of Rwanda, they passed through Congo, they passed through Gabon, they passed through Cameroon. That is why if you continue to check the ancient map of Biafra, you will see that at some point they were part of Ethiopia. At some point they were part of Congo. At some point they were part of Cameroon. At some point until they ended up in Onitsha, the same Anambra. Now, what happened was this: as they were coming, the blessing of the Almighty Elohim was with them, and they kept coming. They kept coming until they got to Omambala. They crossed Omambala River, and Elohim said to Eri, "Here you are going to build me a temple. If you go there, it is there till tomorrow morning." When the pilgrims landed, they built a temple. Then, after a while, the priestly clan was out of Chukwu. The same way you have the house of Levites. People must understand, the same way you have the house of Levites in Israel, it's the same way you have Arochukwu in Biafra. They are the priestly clan. Their job, the job of an Arochukwu person, is to worship God, nothing else. That was why in Arochukwu you have a place called the Hechiowa. which is the land upon which the light of God rests. That's the meaning of the word. Ihechi Owa, where the light of God descended from heaven upon this very earth. And that is why only Arochukwu descendants or the descendants of this priestly clan only answer Umuchukwu. That is why you have people named the children of God, where we come from. They came from this last wave. Now, in the book of Zephaniah chapter 10, everything I tell you, I back it up with the scriptures. In the book of Zephaniah chapter 10, I think chapter 10, verse 3, or is it chapter 3, verse 10? I think it's 10:3 or 3:10, one of those. I will check it now. In the book of Zephaniah, God Almighty in heaven, Chukwukika made it clear that his children are beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. And from there, they will bring me presents. My daughters, as we left the Afar region and continued our migration, Elohim said in the book of Zephaniah, my daughters from across the rivers of Ethiopia, the rivers of Abyssinia, one day you will come to Jerusalem to bring me a gift. It's in the Bible. So that is who we are. 3 people in one. The perfect Holy Trinity, if I may say that. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. Then my last question is, where is the Ark of God domicile? Is it in the blessed and holy land of Biafra, or in the land of the Prince of God, which is Israel, or with the kleptonomians as they used to, as we know them with?
I think that the Ark of the Covenant rests in Ethiopia, in the Actum region. That is my belief, the original one. Because when the house became corrupt, when the house of David became corrupt, because of course David gave birth, or they said slave to the Queen of Sheba, and gave birth to the Menelik dynasty of Ethiopia, in the Amhara dynasty of Ethiopia that later became Ethiopia. And when the son was being smuggled out of the palace, the priest, they said, this is a legend, the priest of the holy house took the original Ark of the Covenant and gave it to him to take to Ethiopia for safekeeping. And they built a fake one and left at the temple. The reason why I believe is that if you go to a place called Aksum in Ethiopia, I think in the Amhara region, you will see that the Knights Templars, these are they claim that the servants of God. The Knights Templars came to Ethiopia. What would they be looking for in Ethiopia and building a church in Ethiopia? People believe that that was where the Ark of Covenant was found, and nobody can enter into that very place. Even till tomorrow morning, they have the Holy of Holies. Nobody goes in there. There's no light that shines into that place. Only the high priest can enter that very place. If you doubt me, please try and visit Ethiopia and go to Aksum. You see, I think Aksum is in Tigray region. It's not in I think there's a war going on there right now. But all of these things are found there. Why would white people leave France, Scotland, England, Germany, Spain to come to Africa? What are they looking for? They come to look for the original Ark. Because when they took over the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, they were told that this Ark is fake, that the original one is in Ethiopia, and they came to Ethiopia and they built a church made of stone inside the ground to cover the Ark. So the legend says. Thank you very much.
Yeah, then when you see, permit me, I know I've taken a little time. I just want to tell our people something. That one thing future generation will be thankful for you for is the ability to make us reason like proper human beings. And gloriously we are. The issue of the guy in the creek, the pig in the creek, is whatever stuff they're using him for. I want to tell our people that from reasoning, they've seen that Biafra has come. So what they are doing right now is to plan using him to destroy us whenever we come together. But I want our people to remain resolute and formidable, just the way you've always taught us. This is just my little advice for my fellow Biafrans.
They are irrelevant. My dear brother, thank you for your call. Very, very incisive. These people are irrelevant. Anybody can make noise from anywhere, but they know. Had I announced a Biafra Republic, believe you me, every aircraft in the zoo will be over our land. They know. These are irrelevant, inconsequential, hungry people. They're irrelevant. Do they know what this family, do they know what the meaning of IPOB? They don't know who we are. When you're inside IPOB, you take it for granted. Any day you leave, you see the importance of IPOB. Or that day, your eyes will open very clearly. You know, these are truly just children of God. Thank you very much for your call this morning. Very incisive, very enlightening. I want to close by saying this morning. If you have a book, please, if you have the Holy Book, the Torah, go to, or Bible, go to Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10. Everything I tell you is biblical. I don't come and concoct anything. Everything I tell you is fact, scientifically proven. From King James Version, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10. From beyond, beyond means after Ethiopia. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my children, my suppliants, even the daughters of my dispersed people, even God knew that he was dispersing us. Even my daughter from beyond, now Africa, for those who don't know, I'm talking about Africa now, not Europe. God said, even after Ethiopia, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, you will come to bring me gifts. You will come to worship me from where I have dispersed you to. This is according to the Bible, that your thieving, criminal, Pentecostal pastor can never teach you. And my good friend, Reno Omokri, I want him to understand what I'm saying this morning. Everything we say is from the scriptures. That Elohim, God Almighty in heaven said, my children are going to come even beyond Ethiopia, the rivers of Ethiopia. Those outside where I have dispatched you are the banks of Omambala River in the blessed land of Biafra. From there you will come. You will remember that I'm your God and you will bring me blessing to my house. That is what Elohim said. And that is the reason why Biafrans are the only, anywhere you see traces of light-skinned people, if you're coming all the way from Ethiopia, draw any map you like. Those of you that fly Ethiopia Airlines or whatever, draw any map you like. If you're coming anywhere you see light-skinned people, you know that they are Biafrans along the way. That is why in the north of us, there are all dark-skinned people all around us in West Africa. We are the only people who are light, naturally, not by mixing with anybody. The dark ones we have amongst us are the ancient owners of the land, the ancient people, those who own the land. Then the second wave came from Egypt, and the final wave came from the northern part of Israel, from the land of the Ephraimites, in the blessed land of Israel. And here we are today, 3 people in one, the perfect Holy Trinity. Let me repeat from the book of Zephaniah. If you want to prove as to where you come from, the final phase, from the book of Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10, go to Arochukwu today, you see how light they are, how fair they are in Arochukwu. That tells you that they are from the final wave that came. And as they are coming, everywhere you have Eri, you have Umweri, you have Aguleri, you have Ora Eri, you have Owe Eri, capital of Imo State, Owe Eri. If you don't know, let me tell you. And then you have Arochukwu, the children of God. The children, that is their name, the children, those born to worship God. That is who we are. And on that note, we have come to the end of our proceedings this morning. Those who do not understand who we are, where we are coming from, or where we are going, all you need to do is to listen to our broadcast. We are all one people, 3 people in one, according to the dictates of the Almighty in heaven. I thank you all for listening this very morning. I don't know if, I think I will try to, I think this question and answer is very, very important for our people. So maybe I will come back live on air again next week. But from me, from here, this morning, good morning.